Hi everybody. I'd like to pay tribute to my family members that served in World War II and World War I. Veterans Day came and went last Thursday, and I thought back to all my brothers and cousins and parents, in-laws, all of whom served in the military. But first, I want to tell you a little whimsy joke. Back in the old days, in the 40s, you know, they had this stage shows with a movie in the big theaters in Manhattan. There was one comedian who would come on, and he would go into his monologue. You know, we all laughed here and there. But suddenly, in the middle of his monologue on stage there, he would suddenly look up and cry out, "Hey, you kids, get off the roof!" It made no sense whatsoever, but it certainly was startling. He'd go back into his monologue, and sure enough, for no reason, "Hey, you kids, get off the roof!" Well, I think it's funny. But let's go on to a more somber note. I want to pay tribute to my brothers, Sidney, Murray, and yours truly, Seymour. My two brothers-in-law, Julius and Samuel. A first cousin, Bernard, and in World War I, my father, Harry, and my uncle, Charles. That makes 8 members of the family that served in the military at one time or another. We were mostly first-generation Americans. We learned to love this country. And we still do. Every day when you turn on the news, you have to love this country more and more. We served, and it was an honor to serve. I'd like to go back a little over the history of what is now called Veterans Day. It used to be known as Armistice Day. When I grew up, it was Armistice Day, and the World War veterans would parade down Fifth Avenue, I suppose. All kind of hijinks and high spirits, typical of World War I soldiers that we all read about, and who brought the carefree American spirit to Europe. The fighting ceased, and that fighting ceased on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. For that reason, we celebrate Veterans Day, we still do, on November 11th. Let me repeat that again. The fighting in World War I ceased on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, and that was November 11, 1918. And we celebrate November 11th to this day, regardless of what day it may fall on. It's always November 11th that we celebrate it. 1 year later, November 1919, Woodrow Wilson, President Wilson, acknowledges the existence of Armistice Day. 19 years later, May 1938, Armistice Day becomes a legal holiday. 16 years later, June 1954, Armistice Day becomes Veterans Day. This, of course, is after World War II. It became a day for veterans of all wars. Veterans Day helps focus attention on the importance of the holiday, a celebration to honor America's veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good. And of course, we honor our great warriors in Afghanistan and Iraq for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good. God bless them, and God bless America. Bye now.